Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is day 2 of our back to school energy boost challenge. And I have some really important news to tell you. Last night, I barely slept at all because in the middle of the night, I woke up and went to the bathroom. This happens, and I stubbed my toe and dislocated one of my toes last night. I was in excruciating pain and had to wait until this morning and then go to a clinic and have it reset. So it has been a very traumatic night for me. I'm a little tired today, but I'm still really excited to be here with you. And I wanted to share that with you, not because I want you to feel sorry for me. I mean, you can if you want to. I will accept all of the love. This has happened to me before. It's just a problem with my toe. But I'm telling you that because uh, there's a really common misperception that we're going to talk about today and get a little bit into the mindset that goes into you staying healthy as a special needs mom and continuing to show up for you and your health in the midst of all of the things that happen in our life, whether it is something that's going on with our kids, something that's going on with our job, freak accidents like what happened to me. And, there's this idea that we embrace here in the 20-minute boost workout program, and that's the idea of progress and not perfection. And if you're anything like me, it's really easy to get caught up in, if things don't go the way that you think that they're going to go, or, some kind of hiccup comes up in your schedule or your day that is going to throw things out of this perfect plan that you thought that you had, to just kind of shut down and go into overwhelm and be like, oh, this isn't possible. I can't do this right now. And that's hard for me, right? As somebody who shows up and does this, there was definitely a time last night where I was like, how am I going to show up if I've had 3 hours of sleep and I've been crying my brains out all night long? And I had to get grounded in this truth that it's not about being perfect. You're not going to be perfect. It doesn't matter if it's perfect, but what matters is that you show up and you continue to do something, even if it's not the absolute best that you could. And as moms who are raising kids with extra needs, we know this, right? This is what we do for our kids. If your child has a speech delay or a physical impairment, we know how to take it easy on them, and we know how to celebrate the little wins and the little progress with them. And why don't we do this for ourselves as well, right? And so here in this program, here in this community, this is what we celebrate. And I also want to share this with you, that if maybe you had grand plans to start yesterday in this challenge and show up and do your workout in the morning and take time last night to watch the training, and you haven't, I also want you to know that that's okay. I don't want you to opt out of doing anything for you or any piece of this challenge, maybe because you haven't nailed it the way that you have. And it's okay. It's okay if you can show up and do one workout. It's okay if you can watch one live training. This is how we make progress. And if we get stuck in that all or nothing mindset, you're going to continue to just drop off and do nothing for yourself. So you have permission to forgive yourself if you didn't make it to day 1. Start here, start today. You can go back if you want to and watch those, or you can just skip it. Everything that I'm going to teach you is valuable. And also know that you will have access to this content here, and you'll be a part of this group. This is our member-only group, but you'll be in here with us until Sunday, so you can come back and get all that content. Does that sound good? Is there any, let me know in the comments if you're like me, you get stuck in that all or nothing, and you are ready now to shift away from that and start to step into that idea of progress, not perfection. Let me know in the comments if that's you. And make sure you say hi whenever you come in, whether you're live or watching this on replay, and comment somewhere on this today so you can get entered. You can receive the giveaway for today. And if you missed yesterday, we are still going to be sending out the recipe giveaways for each day whenever you do it. So if you need to go back today and do that and comment, we're still watching that. We're still going to hook you up for showing up and taking time for that. We've got some recipes, and then a t-shirt if you complete everything will be our big giveaway at the end. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm excited about today because one of my favorite things to teach moms about exercise is, getting out of these ruts mentally that we get stuck in, these myths that we believe about exercise that keep us stuck doing nothing, right? And what happens when you get stuck believing these things that we're going to talk about today about exercise, it sends you into overwhelm very quickly when you think about exercise and doing something for your health. And I want you to let me know in the comments if this is you. Every time you think about, okay, I'm going to get started on an exercise program, and I'm going to start to focus on my health and fitness and getting stronger, really quickly your brain and you just feel overwhelmed about this. Like this is gonna be hard. This is going to take a bunch of time. I'm so tired. I don't know when I'm going to do this. And then your motivation starts to drop because as soon as we go into overwhelm, you better believe it gets like there's more resistance, right, to actually start and do something. And then eventually we just opt out because you have a lot of hard things going on in your life already, don't you? And so no matter how much I talk to you or how much you understand the benefits of exercise, if that still feels like a hard thing and it feels overwhelming, it doesn't matter the benefits that you're going to get. As long as you feel overwhelmed getting started, you're not going to do it. You're going to opt out every single time. And I love walking moms through making these mental shifts, just like we talked about in day one, that mental shift of accepting that you have to put your oxygen mask on first. Getting rid of these beliefs that are keeping you stuck is absolutely critical to helping you stay motivated and helping you to show up and go into exercise and be successful with this instead of feeling overwhelmed by it. So let's do this. Let's do this. Exercise is not just another thing on your to-do list that you have to do. If it feels like something that you just have to do, that's a hard thing, right? If that's in your head every time you think about exercise, that's a hard thing. And that is something that you're going to procrastinate on and want to put off again and again. And so my goal is that by the end of this training today, we're going to shift you out of that place as exercise is something that I have to do to exercise is something that I get to do. Right? I want to do this, and you're motivated to do this because you understand and know what to do and how to do it in a way that works for your busy schedule and your low energy levels. Does that sound good? All right. Yes. And give me an amen if you're ready to get out of overwhelm because overwhelm is a hard place to be. I know that one. All right. So I've got four big myths about exercise that in my years coaching and in my years working specifically with special needs moms, I see come up again and again and again. It's not just for special needs moms, it's really for anyone that's busy and stressed out. But these are the big ones. So number one, do you believe that you need to spend a lot of time exercising if you're going to experience change? Any of the physical benefits that we get from that, right? The belief is I need to spend a lot of time exercising if this is actually going to be effective. And it doesn't matter really what your goals are. You may be wanting to improve your muscle tone. You may be wanting to get more flexibility. You may have weight loss goals. You may want to do this for heart health or to get rid of aches and pain. Whatever your goals are, most of us believe that exercise is going to be a big time commitment. And because we don't have a lot of time, that feels overwhelming to us and we opt out. So when it feels like a big time commitment, it's a struggle to figure out how am I going to fit this in, right? And right alongside of this, I'll just go ahead and plug these two in together because I think they really go together. Exercise is going to take a lot of time. It needs to take a lot of time, and it's going to be really hard, right? Because when we're motivated, right? If you've ever like been like, yes, I'm gonna crush my goals, yeah, and then you show up and you go all out, and you believe that you have to work super hard every single time you exercise. If that belief is going on behind the scenes, you're gonna opt out of that on days where you're really tired, or you're feeling like you're dragging, or you're on your period and you just feel bloated and yuck, and you're like, things are too hard right now. I don't want to do another hard thing right now. And the reality is that in order for exercise to be effective, it does not need to take a bunch of time, and it doesn't need to be incredibly intense and hard and leave you feeling exhausted at the end. I will argue that it's more important to actually do the opposite. And this is why. The truth is that when it comes to physical changes and getting the benefits of exercise, what matters more is your consistency than how big and how long and how hard and challenging the workout is. It is more important for you to consistently continue to show up, because this is how your body adapts. Your body adapts by repeated work, and it learns like, oh, okay, so we're going to have to keep doing this thing. We need to adapt. We need to build more muscle. We need to improve my heart function so that I can breathe easier. And your body adapts through repetition, not through necessarily just intensity. And you'll know this, right? You know this inside of you. If you're somebody who has maybe gone out and you do like one workout a week, or maybe you make it to the gym just once in a while, every time you go, it feels so hard because your body hasn't adapted to that. And my life completely changed when I switched from doing like a couple bigger workouts each week. I would do 2, maybe 3, to paring that down and just doing a little bit every single day. This revolutionized my life, and it has changed the lives of so many of the clients that I work with, because the reality is you can choose to do it that way. If you want to take, an hour or 2 hours and do that a couple times a week, or you can break that down into little miniature chunks and do a little bit consistently. And what starts to happen when we shift away from the long workouts and the hard workouts to the micro workouts is that you still experience all of the benefits of exercise that we talked about yesterday on day 1. If you missed that, we talked about the energy boost that you get, the brain boost, the release of feel-good hormones, the stress release, better sleep. I mean, all of it. All of that comes whether you do an hour of workout or whether you do 20 minutes. There's brain scans actually on this. When I was creating the 20-minute boost workout, I looked at the research around this and like, when do we really get that optimal boost of energy and that optimal that point? And it's 20 minutes. You get a little bit if you do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You're still going to get some of that and feel really good. But past 20 minutes, there's not really any measurable difference in that you're going to feel just like way better after 20 minutes versus 45 minutes or an hour. 20 minutes is where your body hits that optimal. So you can give yourself the gift of exercise every single day with 20 minutes instead of having to carve out huge chunks of time in your schedule. And this is key, because when you feel like exercise is going to take a ton of time and you're busy and you're tired, your brain is going to be way more likely to give you resistance against that, right? Maybe you've felt this before. Like, let me know if you've either been on that type of workout plan or you've tried that and it's like trying to get out and do an hour. Like, that's a huge chunk of time in our schedule, and that doesn't always work with our kids. But I have yet to meet somebody, a mom, who can not find 20 minutes somewhere in their day, whether it's waking up 20 minutes earlier or plugging it in on lunch break or right after the kids go to bed or after dinner. We can find 20 minutes. And if we have to like even pop our kids in front of a screen for 20 minutes, I don't feel bad about that, because the benefits that I'm going to get as a mom from giving my child like 20 minutes of screen time so that I can do a workout is way bigger. And versus like, okay, here's 45 minutes, like go watch TV for 45 minutes and I'm going to work out. Like I feel bad about that. So breaking it down is so, so important. And so making sure that you're not believing that it has to be a ton of time. It doesn't. You can get the same types of benefits from short workouts, and it doesn't always have to be high intensity, like go all out exercise to where you're dreading going into it because you know it's going to be so hard. In fact, the opposite is actually true, where if you can do lower intensity and maybe push that threshold when you feel up to it and do the harder work, but doing the lower intensity work, it's actually beneficial for your nervous system. Here's why. This is hormonal. Stress creates a hormonal response in our body. We all have this. It's a very good thing. Our body produces a hormone called cortisol when we're stressed out. And it's good. But cortisol levels should go up and down throughout the day. However, if you're stressed out and you have just a lot that you're worrying about and a lot that you're juggling in your life, and your stress levels are already elevated, guess what high intensity exercise does to your stress levels? It actually elevates them. This is a stressor. High intensity exercise is a stressor on your body. It's a good one for us when we are wanting to adapt and wanting to build endurance. But if you're already stressed out, and especially if you deal with anxiety, and then you add more stress on top of that, you're not going to feel better afterwards. Usually you're going to feel a bit overstimulated. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel overwhelmed. And you are much more likely to not show up and do that workout again, because your body has registered the fact that exercise is sending me into overwhelm and I don't want to do that again. So pulling back and taking that lower intensity approach and encouraging yourself every single day to listen to your body and pay attention to how you're feeling in the workouts is incredibly important. If you're working with a program, right? Maybe you're doing videos on YouTube or Beachbody, or working with something online, or even going to a gym and working with a coach or an instructor or a trainer. My best piece of advice is to pay attention to how that person that's leading the workout talks and coaches you through the workout. Are they always pushing you to go harder and do more and drive harder and go, like challenge, like, you know what I'm talking about, those instructors? Pay attention to that, because a really good coach, and a coach that you, as a special needs mom who's dealing with stress, the coach that you want to be with is the one that encourages you to listen to your body, the one that accepts the fact that some days are good days to push, and some days we're just going to show up and we're going to move, and that's enough, right? There's no shame in having to level back. There's no shame in having to stop and rest. And this is something that I have taken very seriously in creating these workouts. And part of this comes from my 20 years of background teaching fitness classes and working with people from 70, 80 years old to like young athletes, and understanding the whole spectrum of who's showing up for a workout. But also my training in trauma-informed coaching and working with people who have fragile nervous systems and who are dealing with a lot of stress. Like, you need to learn how to listen to your body and tune back into yourself. And so that comes out in my coaching, in every single workout, every single program. If you didn't notice that already, I hope you notice it next. Like, I'm encouraging you, like, how does that feel? Does this feel good right now? Is that too much? Do you want to level back? And celebrating the fact that you showed up and did something, even if, it wasn't 1,000%, because we should not train like that all the time. Is this landing with you? You guys that are here live or watching this on replay, let me know if you have ever been in a fitness class or done a workout on Beachbody or on YouTube or wherever it is, and you felt that, right? You felt that push, 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 and it didn't feel good for you. Let me know your experience with that, because not to throw any certain programs under the bus, but a lot of what's out there, especially in the fitness industry, right? It's all about getting results as fast as possible. And that's cool, maybe, but in my experience, it's not about just getting something as fast as possible and getting you to hit your goals as fast as possible. It's more about longevity, right? We want to be around. We want to be able to move. We want to be able to play with our kids and do all of that. So if that resonates with you, let me know, because you're in the right place. You got the right person now in your corner. Crystal says, yeah. Yep, absolutely. We know it. We know it intrinsically when we are overwhelmed and when something doesn't feel good. And the other side of that is that can lead to a lot of guilt, right? Think about if we go down that spiral. If you believe that if exercise is going to be effective, it has to be hard and it has to take a ton of time, and then you're doing that thing and it doesn't feel good, that's going to leave you feeling really guilty that you're not good enough, right? That you can't do that, that your position, because of your stress and everything, that you are less than, and that turns you into a failure. And those messages get so locked away in our brain that it's hard to break out of that on your own. And that's why I do these challenges, and that's why I talk about mindset, because if you're sitting in that place of guilt, like, I can't do this, this is too hard for me, I'm a failure, it's not your fault. It's just that you've been believing these myths that actually aren't true and aren't in your best interest. So welcome to the other side. So exercise doesn't need to take a lot of time. 20 minutes is what I have found is the ideal. This is why we do 20 minutes in the Boost program. Exercise does not need to be high intensity and hard every single time. It's better to do low intensity and be consistent and continue to show up in a way that feels good for you. And another one is that cardio workouts are preferred. You'll notice that we haven't done any cardio yet, and congratulations, we're not doing any cardio in this 3-day challenge. But this is so ingrained in our brain that if we're going to do exercise, we should be doing some type of cardio work, whether it's running or biking or an elliptical and walking and getting our heart rate up. And most of this, like this belief, comes from weight loss culture, really. The calories in, calories out, that if I'm going to lose weight, I have to burn a certain amount of calories, and getting out and doing cardio is where I'm going to burn those calories, and that's how I'm going to lose weight. And that is all not true, right? Both of those, that you don't need to do a ton of cardio and prioritize cardio. I'm going to explain that in just a minute. And also, your exercise really is not that much about calorie burn. You burn the majority of your calories just by your everyday life. Like, the extra calories that you burn in a workout are so small. And if you have weight loss goals, it's not going to come down to calories in, calories out, 100%. I've been working in weight loss for a while, and I have seen people in a calorie deficit who are tracking and exercising and burning more calories than they're eating, and they're gaining weight. I have also seen and worked with tons of moms who have thrown calories out and said, okay, I'm not tracking. They've learned how to be more intuitive and manage stress, and they lose body fat and they lose weight, because it's more about what's going on with your hormones. This is a whole nother conversation that I'm not going to dig into today, but know that stress and your hormonal balance and what's going on there is far more impactful to how your body is going to burn or store fat than calories in, calories out. So you have permission to stop worrying about that, okay? So cardio isn't bad. I don't want to demonize cardio. Cardio is great. We get a ton of benefits for our heart. It's great for our lung capacity, and it feels good, right? It feels good to move this way. So doing cardio is great, but there's this missed piece that, especially with women, is absolutely critical, and this is strength training. Our body, our muscles, our bones all need a certain amount of resistance and strength to continue to be able to function the way that they are supposed to. A lot of us think about strength like we're on a moving sidewalk at the airport. Like if I just stand still, I'm just going to keep moving straight forward, like on this same plane. But actually what's happening, especially if you're here and you're in your 30s, especially if you're in your 40s, your 50s, we're actually on an escalator. And when we stand still, things are getting worse. Your body is losing muscle mass. Your body is losing bone density. You are losing strength every single year if you are not actively working on maintaining or building strength. To stay on this sidewalk, you need to be doing strength training on a regular basis. And if you are here and you're trying to improve your strength, you need to be focusing on and prioritizing strength training. This can be lifting weights, this can be with resistance bands, which we do in the Boost program. There's lots of different ways that you can do this, but strength training is actually preferred. And I hear moms all the time that talk to me about having to pick up their kids, right? A lot of our kids are immobile. If you have a child who is wheelchair bound or physically delayed or even like behaviorally challenged, like I have a client that has a son with autism. He's older and he's a flight risk. And she not only has to be, she came to me, she's like, I gotta be fast enough to go and catch him, and I also have to be fast enough to be able to pick him up and like remove him from an unsafe situation and be strong enough to do that. And I have come to realize in talking with dozens and dozens of moms that the biggest concerns that we have actually physically are things like injury. You know, if all of a sudden you have thrown out your back or your shoulder or your knee and you're not able to move and pick up your kids and physically handle them or take care of them, that's a huge problem. So what we focus on in my program is movement. We do mobility. We focus on injury prevention and building up foundational core stabilizers in your body so that you can lift and you can get down and up and you can twist and reach and do all these movements that your body needs to be able to do to manage your life as a special needs mom. And here's the good thing. There's actually a way to do strength training and tick off your cardio box at the same time. And this is what we call interval training. This is what we do in the majority of the Boost workouts. You did one of them yesterday if you did day one. And this is where you are lifting weights and you're cycling between exercises pretty quickly. Like there's not a lot of rest. You do one exercise and then you go and do another one and you do another one. And because you're pretty continuously moving, your heart rate's going to go up and you're going to get that cardio benefit while you're doing your strength training. Did you feel that yesterday? Like, let me know if you felt that you were doing that strength workout and all of a sudden you're breathless. And this is the magic. This is the time saver, if I can call it that, is that if you pack workouts in and you work more intelligently and intentionally, you don't have to do really long workouts, right? We do 20 minutes every day. We work interval training. We cycle different things in the Boost program. We have 20-minute total body. We have 20-minute legs. We have 20-minute arms. We have 20-minute core. And then we do have one focused cardio day because that's important. And then we have one day, which you're getting today, which is just focused on stretching and releasing tension and getting your body into good alignment to help with injury prevention and to help just keep you safe and resting. And so I spent a lot of time really intentionally designing this program and figuring out how can we meet the recommended weekly exercise guidelines from the CDC, that's here in the US, for those of you who are international, like how can we meet their guidelines for disease prevention to help reduce like risk of early death and all these things that are associated with a sedentary life. How can we do that in as short amount of time as possible? And we did it. Like we made it. It's 20 minutes and we can do 20-minute workouts every day and meet our needs. Isn't that incredible? I'm really proud of this. And when we first started trialing these workouts, like the response that we've gotten from moms is incredible. First of all, they're doing the workouts and they're showing up and staying consistent with the workouts, which, like we said at the beginning, is everything because it's just 20 minutes. They're doing it. And they're seeing improvements in their posture. They're seeing improvements in their strength. I have one mom who started with me and had, since her daughter was born with Down syndrome, she was almost entirely sedentary. She worked at a desk job. Her shoulders were starting to round forward. She had back pain. And her daughter had gotten to the point where she could no longer bend over and pick her up because she was too heavy. And she would always have to rely on somebody. And, you know, through tears, she was like, Megan, what am I going to do? Like, if she starts to run, she lived in a city. She's like, what do I do if I have to pick her up and I can't pick her up? So we started working on it. And she did 20 minutes. She kept going with the 20 minutes, built muscle. Her posture started to improve. Her back stopped hurting. And she can pick up her daughter now. She can pick her up and put her in her stroller. And she can pick her up and take care of her the way that she wants to. And you guys, this is what it's about, you know? It works. It works. And I hope you're encouraged by that. I could tell you so many stories, but because of time, I'm going to cut us off here. But let me know. I want to hear from you guys here in the chat. Which one of these, like, what is it that you've been believing about exercise that has been keeping you from not being able to go in and do it? Was it believing that it had to be a lot of time? Was it believing that it was just going to be really hard and make you feel bad? Was it, you know, trying to get cardio in and not really knowing like what to do as far as what workouts to do and what was important and what was effective? Was it that you were just trying to burn calories and you're tracking calories and that's just discouraging sometimes when you don't have a lot of time? What is that big shift that you need to make today? And what difference would it make for you to let those things go and accept the fact that you can do workouts in a way that is going to feel good, that's going to give you energy, it doesn't take a lot of time, but is still incredibly effective for keeping you healthy and making you able to do the things that you want to do with your family? Yeah, I'm just seeing what you guys said. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Crystal. Yes. So you tried the DVD workouts, didn't keep with it. You done Beachbody. Yep. Crystal likes weights. Good. You're in the right place. Yeah, so what we do in the Boost program is free weights, body weight, and resistance bands, which are just so good, like we talked about, for injury prevention and building up stability and posture. And so that's great. Not knowing what to do on the short time periods that you have. Yeah. And we're going to talk about that, Pamela, tomorrow. And something called decision fatigue that is very real and very important for us to know about when we are low on energy, when we're juggling a lot of things. So definitely tune in tomorrow. So we're going to talk about that. And not listening to your body, pushing through even when you needed to scale back. Yeah. And you guys, you aren't alone. I mean, I cannot tell you how many hundreds of moms I've talked to that get stuck in the same thing. So, you know, let go of any guilt that comes with that, right? We're here. We are ready to make progress, and we can draw this line in the sand today, just like we did yesterday, and just say, okay, no more. Like, I'm going to let go of those old beliefs that are not serving me anymore, and I'm going to come and move forward now and step into this new season of my life where I'm not going to be weighed down holding on to beliefs that aren't actually true and aren't in my best interest. Yeah. And so let's do this. I mean, today is the day for you to make that change and go forward as the mom, now that you have information and you have the tools to be able to do this on your own. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to get in more to how do we actually program this? How do we actually do this? How do we set ourselves up to succeed going forward from here? So be sure to come back and tune in tomorrow. Don't want to miss this one where we're going to talk about the easiest path forward for you to continue with the momentum that you've got today and put into practice everything that we have talked about in these. So thank you guys. My foot is throbbing right now. I'm going to go lay down on my sofa again. I'll be on my phone responding to you for you guys that are watching this on replay. So be sure to leave a comment. I'll be reaching out with the recipe giveaways each day and cheering you on because I'm just so proud of you for being here, truly, right now, and showing up for you when I know that there's so many other things that are asking for your attention. So keep going. You are worth it, and it is okay for you to take time for yourself for these few days and prioritize your health because everybody else is going to benefit from that. All right, you guys, have a fabulous day. See you for the next one.